Now I want to talk about game prices for Nintendo games, whether it's a 3DS or a Wii U. Oh boy, and with this one, I know I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Excuse the language, because like I said, in Game Horizon, a good friend of mine, Ari, wrote an article about how Nintendo games are expensive, and a lot of the response said, "Oh no, no, that they have the right to do it." Well, maybe they do have the right, but it doesn't mean that they should really do that. Nickel and dime your fan. Again, that's always been a jerky thing for business when you do it. But yes, I know sometimes business are jerky. So in a way, I want to talk more about this because basically what happened was during the weekend after like E3, I went to a store and I found this game, Lego City Undercover, used. I got it like, oh good. I mean, it's used because my lost is for $20. And I was like, oh, I was so happy about it because I like Lego. I bought the one for the 3DS because I got it for 15 bucks. Again, that's a keyword there. And said, oh wow, well it's used and it's $20. Okay, sure, why not? Nintendo published it. It must be good because again, if Nintendo published a game, I mean, excuse me, if the excuse the language there. Whoa, what I'm trying to say, if Nintendo published a game, there's a reason behind it. So basically bought the game, trying to play it, and apparently the game is broken because they can't even play in my Wii U. Kind of made me sad, sad panda. So I said, maybe I can find this game in other places. So I went, of course, the first thing I was thinking about is I go to Amazon and eBay, and guess what? For a used copy there, they're selling it for $40 for a used copy, and for a sealed game, $70 to $80. And then I'm like, wow, that's really expensive. And then I go to Target, so barely some only Target in my area, like one or two store, low stock. The game is still $50. So what's wrong with this? Well, first of all, Lego City Undercover was out at was released I think February 2013, and it's now 2015 of June, and the game never came down in price. And you say, anyway, and you say, well, the game never sold 1 million copy. Isn't that the rule of it? Isn't that rule? And the answer is, yeah, that is technically a rule. It is the rule that if a game basically sells at least 1 million copy, then it becomes a platinum hit and a great hit. And but for Nintendo game, not anymore. Whether they sell a million copy or not, they're not gonna ever lower down the price, and to some extent, it's pissing a lot of Nintendo fans off. And the reason why is, it's again, as long Iwata is president, excuse me, as long Iwata is CEO, you're stuck with the evergreen strategy. I'm sorry, and forgive my language, but bullshit. That's bullshit there. I'm sorry. Let me explain why. Yes, if the game sells 1 million, developer company do basically have a choice to lower the game to a better price so more people will buy it. Kingdom Hearts 1 for the PS3 it became a greatest hit. Nino Kuni, believe it or not, because the player or not player set, greatest hit. What am I thinking? Let's see. Another one is I can think of Resident Evil 6. Believe it or not, for the PS3 and for the Xbox, yeah, there were player hit, greatest hit. Excuse me, greatest hit, platinum hit. And you say, well, Resident Evil 6, I thought that game sucks. Well, apparently a lot of people bought it, and boom, there you go. That's the point. And the whole point behind of that is good game, sort of good game, but recognizable game for cheaper price. So people who are new consumer who basically late in the party who bought let's say a system can afford to buy them, so they won't miss out. But for Nintendo right now, is that Super Mario Bros. U still $60 or more? Pikmin 3? It's $60 or more, and it's already been long, and I think it's all a lot. And let's see, well, Fire Emblem I think came out. Well, that came out 2014, so maybe it's a little bit early, but yeah. Let's see what else. Super Mario 3D World, 3D World, yeah, still $60. Not gonna lower down the price. Yeah, and that's Iwata's new thing, and it's bullshit because the reason being, is that I said it before and I'm gonna say it again, is because what do you do when you're trying to make money and you don't have third party support? Do you think your own game's gonna do it? That's really, I don't know. And that's it's basically a bullshit thing that he's doing that because he doesn't want to lower the price because you already don't have third party support, so you're not making a lot of money out of that. You're making your own game, so I guess if you even do the same thing, you probably not gonna make more money. And the problem is with this is, excuse me again, is that sadly to say, some Nintendo fans, and remember I'm a Nintendo fan too, but there are some Nintendo fans, they kind of support this thing. They support this. That they're saying, well, yeah, why wouldn't they lower the price? Nintendo games are so good, they don't need to lower the price. They should buy it full price. Yeah, but the problem with that is not everyone can afford a lot of things. They want to get all the Nintendo games they could, but they're not going to pay a lot of money. So scratch my back, scratch your back. I scratch my back, you scratch my back. Well, you got the idea. Is make it lower so people can afford it. I mean, there have been rumors around that Iwata is that he is basically considering, that's a keyword, considering lowering down the MSRP of their game for their Wii U and 3DS. Because right now, most Wii U games are $60. Why is it? Well, if the PS3 and the Xbox 360 were $60, why not? So they're just following the trend. They're being a follower, so you can't do anything about it. It's just thanks to Microsoft to basically made that stupid rule. Sony already had an awesome rule to make games, whether it's more content, less content, to be $50. But because when Microsoft was in control of the game market, because Sony screwed up, the publisher basically persuaded Microsoft to put $10 more in the game. I mean, to some extent, well, games are harder to develop. But again, if you think smart, you get away with it. But right now, it's you guys suggest, well, it's just too hard to make this game. We need more money. Whatever. Boy, how the markets just changed. So same goes with 3DS. Same goes with PSP games. The reason why some of the games or even DS were $40 because again, publisher they're trying to make more money. They're trying to extort money to their fans because well they're gonna make money because it's hard. We're not making money. Blah 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 blah. You know that basically it's just really just been annoying. I mean it is. I mean my belief is that Wii U games should be $50 tops and DS or 3DS games should be $30 tops. This $10 hike, I think it's again bullshit. But what can we do? A lot of the developer and company are just bitch, 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 and I know, excuse for the language there, but again, it just everything I think about this evergreen system, or basically when the game hiked from $10, it just takes me off. Now I do apologize for that, man. I mean, I know the other side of the story is games are harder to develop. People need more money. That's why now you see a transaction on $60 game, even if it's optional, but it shouldn't even be not even supposed to think about that. And stupid ass season pass again, excuse the language, becoming more expensive than it's supposed to be. And that'll be another rant. Like the Mortal Kombat season pass. I'm sorry. And people trying to defend that. You know what I'm saying is Warner Brothers, your season pass are very expensive. You sound like so greedy. So, like I said, I give you the letter F and the letter U. So, anyway, back to my story. Like I said, it was sad that some Nintendo fans were defending me because, oh, they have the right to do it. Yeah, they do have the right, but don't you want more people to play Nintendo games? Maybe they're willing to throw more money. I don't know, because again, Japanese thinking of business is really backward. I mean, heck, even Keiji Inafune basically left Capcom for this whole reason. Because the same goes in the situation when during the PS2 era with SNK. They did the same thing, and in America, they screwed a lot of American SNK fan because they only had PS2 because it was more popular than the Xbox. But just because Sony said, and that's why I got props for Sony. It's a 2D game. You gotta lower the price. SNK said, not in your life. We're trying to make money here, so we're going to the competitors. Did that work? No, it didn't. It basically paid the price. And I did talk about this in my exclusive video a long time ago. Yeah, it paid the price. SNK wasn't thinking straight, wasn't thinking logically that a lot of the SNK fans had more PS2 than Xbox. They just followed, bend down to Sony, excuse that language there. They probably make more money. I mean, some people could argue and said, no, it won't. Whatever, we're never gonna know because it's done. It already happened because the result, what happened basically, then again, excuse me. So the result, basically, what happened was because one, did the game really sell in the Microsoft console? No. Let's see. Metal Slug barely sold, from what I heard. Or SNK versus Capcom, the uglier version, for $50. Yeah, that didn't really sell. I mean, from what I heard, rumor has it, within 2 to 3 months, it went down to the bargain bin already. No joke. Samurai Shodown 5, I heard they owed money because not only they didn't make any profit, they actually were owing people. Again, that's bad. And then because of that, they didn't have any choice anymore. They canceled King of Fighter Reboot for the Xbox and King of Fighter Neo Wave, I think. They were originally going to sell it for $40, but then they just said, you know what, let's just cut our loss. Let's get rid of the online. I think they got rid of the online, maybe I'm wrong. Because they don't have it, I just can't remember it. They got rid of the online and they made it $20. So they were just cutting their losses because they weren't making the money because they were trying to be greedy. I'm sorry, serves you right. And also, as for Ben Herman, thank goodness he left SNK because he was bad. I'm sorry, he was horrible as SNK president. I mean, there was a reason they hired him because the guy was good at marketing, but as a boss, no. Yeah, and then because the result was he was trying to save face to Sony, so they went so far by showing a good Fate of Gesture, like a lot of the SNK collection game, the Fatal Fury, the 2 version, the Real Bout, Art of Fighting, and believe me, I have all those games. Let's see, Samurai Shodown Anthology. Well, that was actually $20. Wait, Fatal Fury 2, or the Fatal Fury Rebound, Art of Fighting, World Zero were $15. Oh, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum and King of Fighter 11 was $15 also. Metal Slug Anthology was $40 because there was also a Wii version, but also from what I heard that, and also the PSP, but also like I said, what I heard was that because Metal Slug 6 was so barely new, so they really couldn't make it like a part of the collection, which is again kind of stupid. So that was $60 or $40. They did have it. I have it for the PS2. Maybe I'll get it for the PSP in the long run. I don't know. But let's see what else. Samurai Showdown Anthology. Yeah, that was actually a little tricky. I think it was. Yeah, it was $30 in the beginning because again the same reason as that Samurai Showdown 6 was barely new in Japan, and again the problem is they're treating their game as basically like a Guilty Gear or Capcom versus SNK 2, that why should we lower the price just because it's a 2D game? Yeah, I mean there was some confusion, some convoluted problem, but as of right now, I think you can get Samurai Showdown Anthology or Anthology for $20. Same goes with the Metal Slug. Maybe I'll get him in the long run. I don't know. But anyway, that's beside the point. But beside the point with the SNK is they did the same thing what Nintendo doing now, and look what happened. They said screw you, and they didn't make any money. So to show faith, show save face, they said fine, here we go. We'll go the other way around, and they did. And they're working with Sony again. Thank goodness. Okay, back to Nintendo. And the sad part really is that the player choice, and to some extent, Nintendo's like, and here's the thing. The first thing actually that invented this good game in a lower value was Yamauchi, the third representative of Nintendo, believe it or not, for the SNES, Game Boy Advance, and to some extent N64. Yes, the player choice program was Yamauchi's idea. He was the first one to basically said, let's have good games to be cheaper price so more people can get them. And that was brilliant. So you can buy it now if you want to play it now, or wait a year or something, or once it sells 1 million and get it for $20. There you go. Yeah, and I mean, granted, with the NES days, to some extent, GB and Game Boy, yeah, third-party support. N64, they came in way too late. Yeah, so you can't really do anything about it. And yeah, but then all of a sudden, when ever since when Nintendo's losing third-party support, so Iwata's basically strategy, which is again bullshit, was the evergreen, which is the opposite, because they don't want to because they can't afford to make it cheap because they're not making any money, and you still want them to make less money than ever. But here's my thing, that doesn't the case. The case is if you lower your games a bit down, especially with the Wii U, especially with your games, I can guarantee Nintendo more people will buy Wii U's. It's not about just because the game is good. Your games are just damn too expensive. A Nintendo fan is willing to buy them, but a general consumer won't. That's why the Wii U is not selling, because you just don't want to lower the price. Nobody's buying your game to some extent because your damn games are too damn expensive. $60 for a Wii U? I don't think so. $40 for the 3DS game? Hell no, man. And excuse the language again there, but like I said, every time I think about Iwata and the evergreen strategy, it's just so left field. It's just so wrong. And I hope that this rumor is true, that they are starting to lower the price down. And another one, I'm sorry to say this, that when the NX basically start beginning, whatever it is, I hope they have a new president by then, and I hope this new president has a different thinking than Iwata, because this is way just embarrassing. It's 2015 and you're still thinking it's 1995. It's that reality check, and this is reality. If the game sell 1 million, or you know what, I take it back. If the game been there at least for a year or year and a half, at least I'm being nice here, you really should lower the price down, push come to shove. I mean, here's the yin and yang. Yin, you want to play it now, pay $60. Or yang, wait at least a year and a half when the game's already old enough, and lower the price. Maybe more people will buy your system. Oh man, the market just changed. It's just so embarrassing. And this is why I'm always griping about Nintendo a lot, because their games are good, but oh, they're so good. Oh, you want to pay them $60 even if they've been there 3 years, because Nintendo's philosophy is we want to have our cake and we also want to eat it too. in the and I'm sorry for this language, but the dickest part about this is the minute the game stopped selling, you know what happened? They just stopped making the game. They like oh my, they discontinued the game. Like they stopped manufacturing the game. That's how bad it is. That's why Wii Sports Club, you can't find it anymore. And oh my god, it just for it was there just for 6 months, and that was it. They were gone. Now Pikmin 3, New Super Mario U, and I guess Lego City Hunters, they're discontinued. You can't find it anymore. Now it's a discontinued item because they just stopped manufacturing them. I think it's BS. I mean, at least, well, if I can get it digital, well, so be it. I mean, even the 3D is even worse. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, it never went down in price. I mean, I had to basically time it right during Black Friday just to get it for $20. Yippee! And Kid Icarus Uprising, bad it may be, that game also disappeared. I mean, there's a lot of good Nintendo games that are starting to disappear. And I mean, I'm hearing rumor that one, Fire Emblem Awakening is probably gonna follow suit. I mean, thank goodness for digital, but $40 for that? Come on, man, make it 29 for crying out loud. Wait, maybe, well, yeah, because well, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I did find some good Fire Emblem game. Let's see, I bought the first one that came in America for the GB. I got it for $30. That was actually fun. And then I found this one at the Circus City. Yeah, that's how old it is. I got it for $15. And then at one point I went to a super Walmart. I found this DS version of Fire Emblem. Apparently, it's supposed to be a remake of the very first one for the NES. Yeah, I got down for $10. Surprisingly, and at one point, the one in the GameCube was $10. Never really had a chance to buy it. Kind of stupid on my part. Wasn't really a Fire Emblem fan. And then Fire Emblem for the Wii, Radiance Dawn with the gorilla guy Ike. Yeah, that never went down. And that never went down, and it just was gone. And if you're trying to find that game, it's like $80 or so. It's rare. They just discontinued. They stopped making those games. I mean, at least for crying out loud, put it in the flipping Wii U. I'll buy it. And whatever happened to the Wii Virtual or the Wii Virtual Console or download game? My gosh, is it really that convoluted just to put it on the like eShop? Okay, I'm going off track here. I do apologize, but that's also another problem I'm trying to say is that the minute the game doesn't sell anymore, they disappear, and it's just frustrating. So basically, is Nintendo doesn't give you enough time to buy the game. So you try to save up this money, but problem is, by the time you save up this money, oh, poopy poop, the game's gone. Yeah, and this is why I don't agree with the evergreen strategy. I think it's a BS strategy, and I think it's just a cop out because they just really, really need to make some money, and they're doing whatever it takes. If they have to be a dick about it, excuse the language, then so be it. That's why. And I do apologize if this is way too long. Just there was a lot of things I want to talk about every time I think about this. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my rant about it. I mean, I hope in the future, if the rumor is true, they should lower their price of their Wii U and the 3DS game. And I mean, really really in the future, hopefully, but I don't know, like 2 or 3 or 4, heck, 5 years from now, once they do have a new CEO, I do hope this new CEO at least have a common sense when it comes to pricing of the game. Don't be freaking out with the shareholder. And here's the tip: is that if you lower the game enough, more people will buy your system.